Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Tyranny, blind. Now, apparently the Archons are meeting in the tent, and I'm supposed to go and talk to them. So, let's do that. This siege is beneath us. We should be occupying those lands, not fighting to retake them. What? Are you high? How do you intend to occupy them if you don't currently own them on account of a rather successful rebellion? Okay, let's get inside. You don't give these Oathbreakers enough credit. Even beasts can begin to see patterns in your simpleton strategies. If there's a pattern to my strategies, it's one of relentless victory. The Tearsmen accept Man, it really goes a little too fast for me. Like, it's probably because English is not my first language, and sometimes I, jumble the word a little bit and have to correct myself, but by the time I do that, it already skips to the next part. Like, that's a bit embarrassing, but, I don't know what I can do about it. There does not seem to exist an option that makes the text slower. You don't give those Oathbreakers enough credit. Even beasts can begin to see patterns in your simple-stone strategies. If there are patterns to my strategies, it's one of relentless victory. The Tearsmen excel at deception, but they falter at fair fight. Probably explains something. But who's been more deceitful than your second, Cairn? Wasn't he the expert on siege warfare? What's your plan of dealing with the walls now? Standing pyramid? The Archon of Stone was punished for his actions. If you want to talk guilt by association, I would be happy to hold you accountable for the collective crimes of your chorus, and the Disfavored warriors can take 10 of those hillfolk with a fruit knife, properly armed. It's not even fair. Okay, I got the gist of it. To be honest, it's pretty much what it was last time, which is relentless bickering and shifting blame.
How can we trust your rabble not to turn at this last moment? How many of your conscripts have family bonds to the Vendrien Guard? It is decided. The Disfavored will take the vanguard of the assault. It is the only way to assure success before the edict comes to pass.
Graven Asher's roar pulses your eardrums, his face reddening as he yells.
Oh, you're so young. We can forgive you for being stupid. Without your Archon of Stone to bring down those walls, you're out of your element. Only the chorus has the numbers required to swarm the walls from all sides. We will lead the vanguard of this battle.
The best the chorus could accomplish would be leaving a ramp-shaped pile of corpses propped up against the walls for my warriors to use. Their fortifications are not a concern. Even understaffed, my Earthshakers could breach the masonry in short order.
Another brilliant idea. Cairn's cult is, we're sure, every bit as trustworthy and sane as the late Archon of Stone himself. You did notice the spire at the center of the citadel? Hard to miss it, being only the tallest thing on the horizon and such. Certainly your Earth mages won't do anything stupid like, say, breaking the spire's foundation? What could possibly go wrong?
The voices of Nerat twirls his scepter lazily. You hear the voices in your head. We love saying the name Cairn just to watch him squirm. Graven Asher has had so much hair back before he met us.
I trust them more than I trust your circus of rapists, sellswords, and turncoat tearsmen.
Archon Asher turns his head, and upon seeing you in the tent, relaxes his posture.
Tunon's Fatebinder has arrived.
Does it even matter which side likes me more at this point? My betrayal of Kairos is surely going to be revealed rather shortly. I plan to steal the entire Ascension Hall from under their noses, leading the Vendrien Guard myself. So, you know, like I'm considering whether I want to ingratiate myself to one of them. Like, if anything, I would much rather try to parlay with, like, okay, I guess it's difficult because generally I think the Disfavored are much more reasonable on most topics. But parlays and like surrenders and negotiations is actually something of a blind spot in this comparison, because the chorus are actually more receptive to talking. You know, the Disfavored, they give you one chance to surrender, and if you squander it, they just want you dead, which is what is currently happening. They are sort of they are, what's the word? Befuddled? Is it a word? Like they are like they question how is it possible that we're giving them another chance after they've broken the Vendrien Guard and the Tearsmen collectively. They've broken their previous surrender, so they shouldn't have any more chances. Like I'm thinking about it at this point from the perspective of how to make it sort of the easiest on the rebels. And I think, like, again, it's difficult because the Disfavored want them dead, whereas the chorus entertains the notion of talking to them, which makes it easier to, like, survive should you get caught or something. But the problem with that is that the voices of Nerat can literally read and possibly consume minds. So that is a bit of a problem. Like, I guess I'll lean Disfavored more. I was victorious in Ecocol Crossing and Tripnatal Wilderness, despite the constant ineptitude of the chorus.
You dare call the chorus inept? Well, that's a half-truth at best.
The Archon swats the air with his scepter as he growls both male and female rumble from his mask. Trying to anger us, Fatebinder? Or are you trying to win over Graven Ashe by tearing us down? We assure you, little good will come of rousing our ire.
Now that we are all assembled, I want reports. The Scarlet Chorus was going to resolve the Oathbreaker presence in the Outer Valley. What became of that?
Yes, what did become of that? We should know already, yet we do not. If we are not mistaken, the Fatebinder played a pivotal role in this operation. Fifth Eye, shed light on this baffling question.
It's a case of mysterious disappearances. The Oathbreaker patrol disappeared, so did Pelox Florian, and so did our scouts sent to follow the Fatebinder.
Really? Fatebinder, explain this at once. Were the Oathbreakers at Tripnettle destroyed? And how is it that Chorus knows so little about its own operation?
Okay, I am going to lie to them, because telling the truth at this point does not seem to be very beneficial. To be honest, I'm kind of baffled that this deception has gone on as long as it did, and especially I'm baffled by how relatively unbothered my companions are, at least, Verse and Barik, respectively, with what I've been doing. Like, shouldn't they have turned against me at this point? Fake Limp and his gang tried to pick a fight and had to be put down. Pelox Florian escaped in the chaos.
Iron Marshal, I understand we've established a foothold across the Matani. Report.
Securing the Matani was a gruesome affair. An agent of the School of the Tides still lives, and the river was turned against us. Despite our losses, the day ended in success at Ecocol Crossing, though victory came at a great cost. In securing the riverfront, it was discovered that the denizens were in possession of stolen iron. Fuckers used our own arms against us. We of course put the village to the torch, and the Fatebinder wisely backed our claim to show them the price of resistance. Our victory pyre burns on the horizon for all to see. Yeah, I feel bad about it, but it was... The game was a bit vague on the alternative. It seemed to suggest, because we burned the village, but let the villagers go. They are just left destitute because we've burned all of their belongings and their homes. But the other suggestion was that they would be conscripted into the chorus. And obviously, for the ones who were not willing, that best case scenario is they would have been taken as slaves, right? And even for the ones who were willing, the initiation into the chorus involves slaughtering your own friends and neighbors and family members. So it just seemed less cruel to me overall to just burn their homes. Like, homes can be rebuilt, but once you got your own family because an army of madmen and psychopaths force you to do it at knife point, there's really nothing you can do to remedy that afterwards. One detail my reports failed to explain: the fate of the enemy captain. She seems to have escaped during the fighting at Ikokol Crossing. All reports indicate that the Fatebinder was the first in the village. She turns to you, her head tilted to the side. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what became of the enemy leader? All eyes in the tent turn to you. I wounded her, but she fled. Securing the village was the goal, so I did not give chase.
And Blood and Mark never taught you how to track a wounded criminal? You are right. Securing a foothold across the river was the goal. Still, your lack of follow-through is distressing.
Blood and Mark is Kairos' knife in the shadows, the unseen drop of poison that enforces the Overlord's will. He reports to Tunon the Adjudicator, serving in his capacity as the final word to those who hold Kairos' law in contempt. Few know of the origin of the Archon of Shadows, or how Kairos maintains a hold on him. Those who anger the Archon never live long past sunset.
Kairos' Day of Swords approaches, and our allies in the Disfavored and the court refuse to work with us. There is clearly only one reason for this. Graven Ash and Tunon have allied against us. You conspire to rob us of our deserved glory.
Emerald-colored trails appear in the air as the Archon madly swings his scepter, gesticulating with growing rage. You hear the voices in your head. We see how it really is. You're all against us. Conspiracy. Let's remain silent for now, see where it goes.
You conspire to rob us of our...
The Archon of Secrets holds abruptly. His body freezes for a moment as his bronze mask rotates, a new face turning to meet you.
To rob me of life. I struggled as best I could, but I could not shield the Legion's secrets. I'm sorry, Father.
Wait! A younger man's voice comes from the Archon in hurried tones. A moment later, the Archon smacks his scepter into the mask, and the bronze rictus spins back to its original orientation. Pay no mind to us. Our powers get the best of us at times, and the little echoes crop up at the oddest moments. Is it? What? Because obviously he consumes minds of the people he, that are brought to him, and he can access their knowledge. But when this voice speaks, it speaks about Legion's secrets, and it speaks of his father. Did he... Because Graven Ash's son died, right? In the Tears campaign. Did the voices of Nerat eat his soul? Like, if so, then that's... First of all, horrifying, but second of all, that's quite a flex, to like in a confrontation with a father, to show him that you've consumed the mind of his dead child, and forced him to give up the Legion's secrets, for which he still feels guilty even in the afterlife.
You sick fuck.
The Archon of War stares at the voices of Nerat, anger welling in his face. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's really fucked up. I feel for him actually, cause man.
So that is what became of my son Brennix. I knew the Oathbreakers didn't kill him in captivity. You will pay for this. But you knew this already, didn't you? Binder, I will not work with this perverted piece of garbage. And I'm a few seconds away from pretending there's no blue flag in my tent. As the voice of Tunon, you must choose which of us has the right to take Ascension Hall, for there will be no unity between our armies.
With whom do you stand?
The voices of Nerat's mask tilt sideways as he lurches forward, wagging his scepter at you. The tent grows quiet as the gathering looks to you in anticipation. Now is not the time for compromise. One of us will have the honor of completing this glorious conquest. We know you will choose wisely. Now, this is again difficult, because I have to think of it from like the other direction. You know, I'm actually working with the rebels, so what would be better for the rebels? Like, on one hand, I think the chorus is much easier of an army to defeat, because obviously most of them are unskilled and lightly armored. But on the other hand, you know, many of them are literally slaves forced to fight, so the Tearsmen would have to kill their own people, at least some of them, whereas the Disfavored are much more elite and therefore presumably harder to defeat, but there's also less of them. And also I guess you could make the argument where you know, it's obviously very difficult to assault a fortification. You know, the attackers always take higher casualties. So maybe it's better to send the Disfavored to bloody themselves, because if they do, they are going to be less of a challenge later on. Like, I doubt it's going to, because I would like to see Voices of Nerat dead. He's creepy and, like, wrong. His whole shtick of consuming people's minds is pretty demented, and the way he flexed it on Graven Ashe by showing him his dead son is horrifying and also feels wrong. So I would not feel bad at all if Voices of Nerat died. But the thing is, I don't think it's going to matter, because regardless of which of the forces I choose to lead the assault, I doubt the Archon themselves are going to, like, go, you know, at the head of it and, like, get shot in an eye with an arrow or whatever. Like, they seem much too strategically minded for that. So I think I am going to send the Disfavored, just because I hope maybe if we start winning, more of the chorus are going to desert. You know, the ones that have been compelled to join. Graven Ashe has maintained a firm hold on the tiers. He will lead the charge.
You honor us, as I knew you would. You have made the right choice. The Disfavored have stood at the forefront of battle since the first days of the war, and now we have the honor of winning this final battle.
Graven Ashe salutes you, his fist striking his breastplate with a thunderous clatter.
Our beloved chorus! We have too many lives to protect. We can't allow your foolish decision to destroy us all!
A brilliant emerald green radiates from the Archon, and the chatter of a busy marketplace seems to fill the tent. The scepter he normally holds as a playful prop is now clutched as a bludgeon, ready to strike. No, we did not work so hard only to be denied our rightful glory in the end. You will die with the Disfavored.
You would dare harm me and our guest from the court?
The air crackles with electricity as Graven Ashe lifts his maul to strike.
Kairos' word. This means war! How did it come to this?
You rouse to consciousness to the sight of Graven Ashes swatting his hand towards the green mist where the voices of Nerat once stood moments ago. I saw you step in front of me. Thank you.
Just old soldier reflexes. Couldn't be sure if it was trying a simple illusion or a bolt of fire. Either way, needed to be sure my guests didn't perish in my war tent. Wouldn't be able to live that one down.
Are you sure you wish to go to war against the chorus?
What other choice am I given? It is clear the voices of Nerat would endanger all of us out of vanity. Besides, we all know when this war is over, someone must rule and protect the Tears. So I will start protecting the Tears from the depravity of the Scarlet Chorus.
We will have to take Ascension Hold without Chorus's kelp.
Yes.
Or rather help.
And instead of having false allies on our side, at least we can march on the Citadel knowing full well who is friend and foe. And it goes without saying, the Disfavored needs you now for this glorious battle. Please speak with the Iron Marshal. She will give you the specifics of our plan. The Archon of Secrets left behind one of his spies. Perhaps we should send her back to her master in pieces.
Graven Ashen narrows his eyes and points a finger at Verse. Barik's armor makes a discordant sound of iron bending under pressure. Everyone assembled in the room looks at him.
Something to say, Barik?
Ashe passes his stone shield a confused look.
Nothing at present, Archon. Forgive the interruption.
Barik looks to you with a vague hope that is in his otherwise impersonal stare. Wait, what? That's interesting. Does he somehow care for her? Like, I don't want to kill her. She hasn't, like, if anything, she has seemingly been more loyal to me than I would have anticipated. I would have thought they would have both turned on me at this point, and yet for some reason they didn't, so maybe I can convince them to go with me all the way. Versus with me.
You would harbor the Archon's henchmen in your company? This is aiding and abetting the voices of Nerat. I cannot stand for it.
She can't tell us about the Scarlet Chorus or the voices of Nerat if she's dead. Or maybe this would be a good option. Like, you know, I'm also not actually sure how loyal is she to the voices, because if she is spying on me, then obviously keeping her around might be not such a great idea, but... She can't tell us about the Scarlet Chorus or the voices of Nerat if she's dead.
You would twist her loyalties from the chorus to yourself? A fool's hope if ever I heard one. Safer to leave her hanging by a gibbet or rotting in the pillory for the Legion's amusement. But I can tell that you won't be swayed. You are playing a dangerous game, Binder. If you wish to hold a venomous serpent so close, I will allow you your own self-destruction. Now leave me. When you are ready to join the assault, speak to the Iron Marshal.
I have important matters that require my attention. Speak with the Iron Marshal at the training field. Now, obviously, it would be good to at least know the basics of their plan before I leave to join the rebels. The time is upon us. The Iron Marshal nods at you with a serene smile. We march on Vendrien's Well to show the Tearsmen the price of insurrection. She looks in either direction, surveying the movement of ironclad warriors readying for battle. Kairos' edict will soon come to bear, and we should move at once. Fatebinder, if you are willing, I could use your assistance. We are a tight-knit band, and while we are not outclassed, we are outnumbered. Will you march to battle with us? Okay, so I can betray... I can betray the rebels, but I don't want to. So, what of the Scarlet Chorus? Will you ask me to fight them as well? It offends us to violate Kairos' peace, but the voices of Nerat is a gangrenous limb. That sort of malady, if tolerated, destroys us from within. She shakes her head, lowering her gaze. So yes, if the chorus stands between us and our goal, and I'm certain they will, we will have to draw blood. Like, to be honest, why would they? It's all in the best interest of the chorus to not intervene, and instead let the Oathbreakers and the Disfavored bloody each other out, and then maybe swoop in at the last moment to conquer the Ascension Hall themselves, thereby saving themselves from the edict and also winning all of the glory. Go on ahead, I'll catch up. Our forces are assembling as we speak. We will meet you at the Citadel. Graven Ashe protects. She offers a firm salute, then turns to her troops. It's about time we took Vendrien's Well. It's an honor to have you take Vendrien's Well with us, Fatebinder. Yeah, you'll be a little bit surprised, to be honest, soon enough. I will visit the chorus camp, if I still can, because Fatebinder, under his helmet you can hear something that's either iron shearing apart or Barik grinding his jaw. You lied to the great general. You have no intention of leading the assault with the Disfavored, and what's more, you made me complicit in this treachery. He balls his hands into fists and locks his arms in an aggressive stance. Well, to be honest, no, you made yourself complicit. You could have spoken up if you really wanted to. Let's talk this over like logical adults. A harsh laugh escapes his armor, as if anything I've seen out of you could be called logical. You betrayed the Disfavored to our faces, and you expect me to join in a fight against my countrymen? I may be pledged to your service, but not even Kairos would hold me to that, given what you intend. Unless you turn around right now and state your intentions to stay by our side with the Iron Marshal, you can consider me ejected from service on the grounds that you're a traitor. Yeah, you know, you've caught on soon enough. Where did you pick up that legal speak, Rust Bucket? Have you been reading the Fatebinder's diary? He regards you with an intense glare, awaiting your response. Tunon sent me with a mission. Do you think I'm such a fool as to forget it? I don't think if insulting Ashe on the ground of his son dying is such a great option. Tunon sent me with a mission. Do you think I'm such a fool as to forget it? A low growl rumbles through his armor. Sometimes I wonder, Fatebinder, and yet you wouldn't turn your back on a decorated career without cause, so perhaps there's something to what you say. When you ask me to take up arms against my countrymen, how can I possibly follow? How do I know this is the right course? Like, this is pretty condescending to just say that I should be doing the thinking. Neither of the Archons are thinking straight, but I am, and I suspect you are as well. Let's take control of this siege. Very well. I will remain at your side, provided that some sanity comes out of this. And in the end it serves the cause of the North. Barik stands at ease, still trembling. The stress of following you alone will lead me to an early grave. What? How can it be so easy? Like, is he stupid? Like, clearly he is, but, like, I've been openly talking with the Oathbreakers about taking Ascension Hall at the head of the Vendrien Guard. Like, what? I don't get this game. Like, how are my companions, at least Barik and Verse, not more concerned about this? Like, just now, I am going to walk up to the leader of the rebellion and calmly discuss our joint plans. But before I do, can I go? Okay, I can't. The Scarlet Chorus has closed off the access to the camp following the declaration of war between the two Archons. Okay, so let's just go to the Citadel. The ancient fortress rests within the center of Apex's valley, its ring-shaped wall mimicking the mountains that border the nation. The Citadel has been repaired, and while understaffed, remains a formidable presence. Even my current objective is talk to Tarkis Ari about her plans to defend the Citadel. So, like, I'm a bit confused about what do my allies think that we're doing. The wheel axle on this wagon is broken, likely leading to its abandonment here. Grass and dirt have begun to overtake the portions of it closest to the ground.
Can't do that. Sorry, I can't.
Scarlet Chorus leather armor. Would that be good for Verse? What are you wearing? Okay, so this is better against the elements, and better against crushing. I don't really care that much. Let's...
Right.
It appears someone attempted to smother this campfire with nearby dirt, but missed most of the fire pit in the haste to leave.
It's all in the reflexes.
See that?
Iron greaves. Well, obviously those would be good for Barik, but he can't change his armor.
Can't do that.
Despite being cracked, worn, and possibly about to break, these spears show recent use in combat. Okay, let's talk to Ebb first, if I can. You know we have a battle on our hands. Something in your mind? What sort of magic can you do? I have spells that focus the searing light of Terrato's grave, wherever I will it, among other things. Ebb scowls, her eyes moving away from you, towards her bladed staff. I don't really think about the School of the Tides much. There's no one left in my school to talk shop. The other Oathbreakers, as we're called, they've been raised to be fearful of magic, but at the moment my capacity to kill means that I'm the bitch they have to pretend to like. That trick of yours at Ecocol Crossing cost a lot of lives. I know, right? You're one of the Overlord's official justices. You must know what it's like to get a chabon on righteous killing or two. Heinous witch, you violates the laws of surrender and revel in your atrocity. I should run you through with pride. Rather for your pride. Easy there. I know the Disfavored are all really tightly knit and such, and I'm sure you knew some of those folks I killed, but I'm not sorry for that. You can't come to our lands, take what you want, and expect us not to fight. Yet, to be honest, I agree, like 120%, and it's one of the things that annoys me the most about how Kairos runs things. You know, they just show up to your corner of the world and try to conquer you and then act offended when you defend yourself. Barik, you want to swear on Kairos' name that you've never boasted about killing Ebb's people? You have blood on your hands too. I stand on the side of the right. It is my privilege to boast of slaying dissenters and oathbreakers, and neither you nor that water hag have any cause to challenge it. I realize this alliance of sorts puts us all in an uncomfortable position. I'd wager now is a poor time to discuss our differences and grievances. Can you teach me anything? No, she taps her staff to the ground, punctuating the abrupt reply. Well, that's your right to decline. Might I ask why? My arcane secrets are all I have left. Kairos has taken everything, but I have at least the comfort of being the last of an important tradition. I realize our ways are old and silly to you all, but my knowledge is the one thing I can defend with my life that the Overlord can't take. Let me ask you something else. So long as it's not a roundabout way of badgering me for instruction, sure. I'm trained in all sorts of things, magic is one of them. I'd be happy to talk arcane matters. When this is over, we'll no doubt have much to discuss. I know the Fatebinders are taught their letters and sigils. It would be a delightful change of pace to discuss arcane matters with an educated mind. Tell me about yourself. Really? Right now? Let's see. Born in Haven, a little angry. I'm likely to going to die in Apex. The rest is utterly immaterial to our survival here. If I'm still alive when this is done, you can bore me with your questions. So what exactly is your plan here? As in, what's our plan for the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus crashing down at our doorstep? Or was it a more general, bigger picture type of question? Well, first, short term, did you think your band could mount an enduring defense? Most of us never assumed we would live more than a few days, let alone a few span. Our attack on the Citadel changed things. Our success was so overwhelming, and our losses but a fraction compared to our estimates. We got drunk on success. As much as anyone else in the Guard. It only fueled our convictions when we got an influx of volunteers from other realms. A band of sages even rallied to our cause. That one caught us all by surprise. Once Asha and Nerat crossed over the mountain, our insurrection went from drunken revelry to what the fuck did we start almost overnight. Well, in long term, anyone can mount a brief but futile insurrection. how do you actually hope to win freedom from Kairos? Well, in the long run, there really isn't a plan. Kairos has the power of the Edict and seemingly endless Archons and armies to call upon. There are plenty of brilliant minds, great warriors, and effortlessly modest tidecasters in our crew, but we don't pretend to have a chance. Having others rally to our cause was and is our only hope. How and why did you fall into working with the Vendrien Guard? Like many in the Guard, I had a perfectly lovely life until a few years back when the war came and swept it all away. The Tidecasters fell apart when our leader and founder, Occulted Jade, Archon of the Tides, chose to flee the Tears, leaving only the most irritable, the most ornery, and the most ample-bosomed Tidecasters behind to make a stand. Okay, she's praising her own boobs in the middle of this conversation, which is certainly a mood. Our stand was short-lived, and while I often hate myself for not dying alongside the masters of the school, at least I still draw breath. The Vendrien Guard was officially defeated at the end of the first invasion of the Vendrien's Well, but even weeks after the surrender, folks were ready to keep fighting, so the cause seemed just hopeless enough to suit my fancy, and really, I had a choice between being an old slave or a youngish corpse. I suppose all life choices come down to a question of risk or rest. So, when you came to talk a few days ago, was it a recruitment call? Of sorts, you are the Peacebinder after all. I had no idea if you imagine yourself to be a good person or a monster or some mix of the two, but from our point of view, you're the sole torchbearer of peace and life, or the only one we've seen in all of Kairos' hosts of war. The notion to try and recruit someone from Kairos' army came a bit later as we were pondering the death sentence of the Edict. Most of us would have fled the valley, but Kairos' magic leveled the mountain passes, trapping us. We had a lot of time to sit around and be terrified of what's coming next. In one of those late-night dread sessions, someone floated the idea of, it sounds weird to say it, helping one of Kairos' servants take Ascension Hall, just in a matter that involves all of us not dying. Am I the only person you approached? There was another, a chorus gang leader we thought of approaching, until she was slain by a rival. Most of the luminaries of the Disfavored and the chorus aren't what I would call savory folk. Plus, next to the like of them, you seem like the only adult in the room. Right? Right? I'm glad that she notices that at the very least. Be honest. Were you in favor of this plan? I suggested we sell the place. What? I suggested we sell the place to the Voices of Nerat, but Florian wasn't having any of my feminine wiles and wouldn't agree. It was Sybil that suggested the notion. She came back from Echocole beaten and exhausted, but you were the odd bright detail of her report. Well, let me ask about something else. Perhaps another time, if we're still alive after the conflict to come, we can ramble all you like. Okay, let's talk to Tarkis Ari then. You have returned. We were beginning to fear you had been detained, or worse, changed your mind. A few of my soldiers doubted you. Thank you for proving them wrong. Our scouts confirm that the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus are on full march, though their troops don't move as one. I trust you were able to drive a wedge between the Archons. Unable to decide who will lead, the Archons descended into civil war. This bodes well for us. That is the finest news I've heard in ages. With any luck, they will turn on each other in battle. Don't know about you, but I would prefer the chaos of a three-way melee if the alternative is a unified front of Kairos' thugs. Even divided, they both have a vested interest in someone winning. Let's not get cocky. Oh, wait, there was talk of consorting with the Oathbreakers. This true? To an extent, yes. Almost 2 spans back, we traded our disfavored prisoners, as is our tradition, for what we thought was a truce from both armies. Fighting tapered but did not cease entirely. Still, we were happy for any let-up in the hostilities. Well, even divided, they still both have a vested interest in someone winning. Let's not get cocky. The Archons bicker, but are forced to fight together? This would be humorous if the fate of the tiers weren't in the balance. We should get ready for the attack. Agreed. We're about to have the Overlord's 2 armies crash down on us. This is going to be messy. Their lack of cohesion is our saving grace. We can hope they take their eyes off of the prize and turn on each other. I noticed a few sages have joined your cause. I assume they are enhancing the Citadel's defenses? We adopted a few of the stragglers that fled the burning library. They are a shifty bunch, but given the circumstances we're forced to trust. She stares at you for a long moment. Whatever we can get. The sages have earned their keep by helping us mend the walls of this old joke of a fort. She points to the Citadel's masonry. This place looked even worse before they started working their little sigils. Sigils, darling. Oh, she said signals, and Eb corrects her. Sigils, darling. They're called sigils. Let's say we survive the edict. Then what? We'd be overly optimistic to think we'll survive the edict. I'd say any plans beyond that are a bit premature. That's not really an answer, but considering our odds of survival, future plans tend to be widely over-optimistic, even by our standards. Well, to be honest, that is a valid enough point. Like, it doesn't really matter if we don't survive this, so I applaud your realism. Let's focus on victory here and now. Exactly, she nods with enthusiasm. We need to stay hungry and in the moment. Ready yourselves. Victory is almost at hand. I applaud your spirit. If nothing else, we get the heroic last stand we've all been daydreaming about. Captain Tarkis nods with a stern grimace and turns to her soldiers. Lads, lasses, get your crews ready and in position. Battle awaits. Battle is upon us. The time for worrying is over. Addressing the Vendrien Guard, Ari tries the straps of her gauntlets, flexing her fingers as she tightens the grip. And now we fight as best as we can, until there's no fight left to give. Surrender means a slow death, or something worse, perhaps being Nerat's plaything. So as long as you draw breath, keep swinging. Fatebinder, I need you to join the crew stationed by the wall to the east. I don't have enough hands to cover the whole citadel, and if we're right, that's where the Disfavored will try to strike. I will keep our remaining troops to protect the front gate against the Scarlet Chorus. I'm pulling rank and calling it. I'm on escort. I'll make sure nothing happens to the Fatebinder. The Fatebinder can take care of himself. Besides, what of... Well, maybe I want to keep a watchful eye on our newest ally. Besides, they must know about me after the Echo Call, and I'm certain they'll try to single me out if they see me. I figure if I stand next to the traitor Fatebinder, the enemy might be paralyzed with indecision over whom to attack. That's certainly possible. If I had a few extra shield bearers, I would argue with you, but you're right. Perhaps it's better if you fight alongside the binder. Now I'm headed into the keep. Hopefully the battle doesn't get that far. The captain nods as she turns to leave, tapping her fingers to her temple in a salute. Hear that? That's the sound of victory coming. Best of luck to you all. Thanks, I would welcome your assistance. That's the spirit. What's the worst that could happen? We die horribly and take a lot of foreign shitheels with us. Not like I had better plans for the day. Okay, so I have to switch somebody. Like, to be honest, maybe it's for the best to switch Barik.
Seeing you, Fatebinder.
Because we're going to be fighting the Disfavored. That has to be difficult on him. Probably. Although I kind of like him because he's very tanky. But I want to test her out as well. I'm conflicted. Yeah, let's do it. Like this for now. Good fighting, good hunting, Fatebinder. The captain taps her helmet in a salute before turning to face the crew. Take positions, ready your weapons. Okay, she has leveled up. Ability strength. She has quite a lot of things in magic defense. In might. Well, I guess it's somehow the tide casting is somehow dependent on it. So let's do it like this. Gain a bonus to all frost damage. Or send a charged bolt of arcane energy at a foe that bounces to hit nearby enemies. Okay, that seems pretty cool as well. Oh, I have 3 points actually. So I'll take this for passive bonuses. Grants bonus to armor while Ebb is wearing light armor in combat. Summon a globe of water to surround the target's head, leaving them to slowly drown. Wow, that's pretty horrifying.
I got it.
Okay, I guess the Disfavored are attacking because I can see them on the map. I will save because me dying is a pretty... I guess that's the chorus. So I was supposed to stand on a wall somewhere. The time for action is now. With me, comrades.
Can't do that.
Fatebinder! The Disfavored have scaled the walls! We need to push them back! Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. Now I have to kill you. Count on it. Seeing an awful.
This armor, the armor in the cart, forgive me, the sage's voice is a weak spatter between the labored breaths. We have failed you. With one hand cupping her guts, the other hand furiously traces the pattern needed to maintain the protection spell upon the walls. Pain and fatigue set in, and an errant clockwise gesture causes her protection spell to finally sputter and fizzle. The Earthshakers will soon topple the walls. Stand clear. The sage pitches forward to Wretch, her body trembling from exhaustion and fear. The Fatebinder, siding with the lowly Tearsman? What in the name of Kairos are you thinking? Holding her stride, Eranos points at you, singling you out for the squad to see. I dislike the serve me part, because I don't want them to serve me. As far as I'm concerned, the serving part is just for us to loophole the edict correctly. But I do agree with the former part. The people of Apex have shown they are strong enough to deserve their own existence, and wise enough to serve me. So the Tearsmen have seduced you to their hopeless cause. Well, why didn't you tell me before that you were a sucker for primitive halfwits and their sub-stories? If you're so fond of these backwards hill people, she flips her massive sword in her hand with a flourish, then I will see to it that you rot beside them in a shallow grave. With a shrill whistle, the Iron Marshal signals her warriors to attack and charges towards you.
I'm not here.
I see as the crow flies.
I got it.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Right. That's how it's done.
That's how it's done.
This is useless. I should try something else.
I'm on it.
I bring glory to my guild.
I can't move!
Wake me up when it's over.
I'm enjoying this a little too much.
You got it.
These bones cannot be broken. These feet cannot be moved.
Wake me up when it's over.
You hear the sustained peal of a hunting horn blaze from the western courtyard.
That came from the courtyard. That can't be a good sign.
Iron Marshal's heirloom blade. Okay, I'll check all of the loot later. This training dummy is well worn and looks like it has been patched up and put back together many times.
Got it!
The armor in this cart is old, dented, and looks as if it's almost unusable. The weapons do not appear to be in any better shape. Anything out here? Like, I probably shouldn't charge out behind the walls. It seems like a bit of a stupid thing to do in a siege. But I want to make sure I'm not missing something interesting.
curious. This is useless. I should try something else.
I see as the crow flies.
Too old for this.
Okay, I saved this guy, which is something.
I'm not here to make friends.
This isn't working.
I know it.
Hey, nobody saw that, right?
No dice. You got it.
This isn't working.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
This is useless.
Of course.
Fall before me.
Trouble is afoot. On it. Can't do that.
Another battle? I'm starting to think we're bad at making friends.
On it. On my command. We should try that again.
Oh, I'm enjoying this a bit too much.
This is useless. I should try something else. Will do.
I feel faint.
That which doesn't kill me leaves me bitter and jaded.
Right. This is useless. I should try something else.
Got dark all of a sudden.
I got it. I got it. This is useless. I should try something else. I got it. This is useless.
I haven't saved. I will do it all again.
Will do.
But I'll try to save between fights.
Well, what do we have?
And also,
Yeah.
can I equip the thing that makes me raise my allies? Because there is a potion for that. Yeah, to recover their fallen allies. Now this is obviously pretty useful and something I should probably have
Will do.
started to use before now.
Your days end here!
I'll spill your guts.
I'll omit that from the record.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. Hey, nobody saw that, right? I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass.
Can I save after this fight? I can, and I should.
Another demonstration of our power seems in order. Count on it.
This is useless. I should try something else.
The fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Flawless.
Let's try that again. Squirrely bastard, aren't you? Ha! This isn't working.
Take that.
Not a problem, boss.
On it. To battle! I got it.
I see as the crow flies. I'm on it.
This is...
Wait out, you shit!
I've had far worse.
Damn thing couldn't pierce a claw.
Die! I've had far worse.
To battle!
This isn't working! I'm on it. Idiot! What was I thinking? Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. I'll take care of it. Got You got it.
I got it.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Wake me up when it's over.
Consider it done.
This is useless. I should try something else. I got it.
These crates look as if they have been placed here and then too soon forgotten. There is a pungent odor
That
emanating
wasn't so
from
hard.
them.
Right. Right. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Okay, I'll go back to the courtyard next time, because this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to pause it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!